dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke, and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. My dear students, today in Standard 10's Geography, we'll be learning the topic Economy and Occupations. So in this topic, we are going to discuss about the economy and occupations of India and Brazil. So here in the beginning of the lesson, figure 8.1 is given, and in this figure what we have to do, we have to read the given graph and answer the questions. The figure is of gross national incomes, that is GNI, gross national income, from 1960. Here you can see from 1960 to 2016, and which is in million US dollars. So first of all, we'll just try to revise the concept of gross national income. The gross national income, which is known as gross national product, which is the total domestic and foreign output claimed by residents of a country, consisting of gross domestic product plus factor incomes earned by foreign residents minus income earned in the domestic economy by non-residents. So this is what is the gross national income, and the graph is all about the gross national income of the Brazil, of India, and of United States of America, that is USA. I'll go for the questions. Which country's national income was highest in 2016, and was it how much? So if you go for the 2016, then we can easily understand that the gross national income of USA, which is in green color, was highest here. And just try to compare it with the India and Brazil. So the national income in 2016, which was highest of USA, and the next question was it how much. Now if you go for this line, which is more than 1,800 million US dollars. Second question, comparing India and Brazil, which country had a higher national income in 1980? Here now, 1980. Which one is higher? India is in red color, and in Brazil kind of purple, you can see. So in 1980, the gross national income or the national income of Brazil is little bit higher, थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा हमें दिख रहा है. Then the third one, comparing India and Brazil, which country had a higher income in 2016? Now here in 2016, India, here in 2016, India had a higher income, higher gross national income. Next one, tell the difference between the gross national product of Brazil and India in 2016. So you can do this by yourself. And the last question, calculate the difference between the national incomes of developed and developing countries in 2016. Now here in this figure, USA is the developed country and Brazil and India are developing countries. So you have to calculate this. Now the next point of this chapter, a table regarding the ownership of various sectors in both the countries is given. So here Brazil is given, and by observing or by studying that, what you people have to do, Fill the details regarding India and complete the table. So one by one, banking, private and public both. Same here in India also. Private sectors, banks are there in private sector and in public sector also. Railways, private and public both. Now in India, especially railways were in public sector, but now in this era or in this period we can say it is opened to private also. Then airways, private and public both. In India also it is private and public both. In electricity production, it's also largely public, but somewhere in the some parts of country it is private. Iron and steel industry both largely public in Brazil. In India also the same thing. Health, private and public both, same thing. Education, largely public, little private. In our country it's in both public and private. Telecommunications, private and public both. Now in India we can say that it's largely private and now controlled in the public sector. So on those basis of the information about the ownership of various sectors in both the countries, that is Brazil and India, can you infer about the type of these economies? There are three types of economies. You people learned about that. So try to answer the question and write it down in textbook or in your notebook. Now the next thing which we have to do is an economy of a country depends on the economic activities carried out in the country. Economy of a country depends on the economic activities. जो भी इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज होगी उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि देश की इकोनॉमी किस तरफ जा रही है, बढ़ रही है या कम हो रही है या उसमें कुछ चेंजेस हो रहा है. You people have already learned that there are three types of economic activities in an economy, that is capitalist, socialist and mixed economy. So one more thing, what is given in our textbook, classify the following activities in by ticking in the respective column. What you have to tick like this. Activities are given and you have to put that into primary, secondary and tertiary sector. But before that we'll just revise the concept of primary, secondary, tertiary and also of quaternary activities which is just now introduced. Although there are hundreds of different jobs or occupations, they can all be classified into four categories. Here now we have to categorize that into three types, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. So what is primary? Working with or extraction of natural resources, there is farming, mining or forestry. If there is this kind of activity, then you have to put that into primary activity. Secondary, making things either by manufacturing or constructing, for example any kind of car manufacturing. Tertiary is of industry which provides services. This includes commercial services like shops, professionals, school teacher or entertainment or restaurant or personal hairdressers. And the quaternary, this is a new sector which is linked to ICT and research development. But here we just have to think about the first three, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. So television broadcasting, will it be in primary, secondary or tertiary kind of service? So it will go in the tertiary. Beekeeping, now this one which is related with the natural resource, so primary. Then the coir and rope making, jaggery making, producing blades of the plow, construction, then extracting iron ore, automobile production, rice production, teaching, driving buses, providing lodging and boarding facilities. Now here on one side you have the definitions of the sectors or the activities. On the second side you have the economic activities. So you people just do this by studying sectors of industry. Next point now, economic activities in Brazil and in India. Again now, we have to study this lesson with the help of different types of figures. So figure 8.2 is given, which is of percentage of population engaged in various sectors and contribution of sectors in GDP. And the year which is considered 2016. So in figure 8.2, the pie charts show the contribution of each sector in the respective country's GDP and the percentage of population engaged in various activities. So just read both the pie charts carefully and answer the questions. The first question, which country has a higher percentage of population engaged in primary activities? So here in the second one, percentage of population engaged in various sectors, primary activities. Here now you can see primary activities. Second question, in which country is the contribution of tertiary sector greater in the GDP? In which country is the share of secondary activities more in the GDP? And can we say that Brazil is an agrarian economy like India, and give reasons? Or we can simplify this question that the economy of Brazil is directly or indirectly based on the agrarian economy or the things related with the agriculture. So you people just observe this figure 8.2 and try to answer the questions. Next one now. In the economic activities in Brazil and India, figure 8.1, if we again go for the 8.1, we saw that India has higher national income than Brazil. Brazil is one of the world giant of mining. World's giants of mining, agriculture and manufacturing, and it has a strong and rapidly growing service sector also. On the other hand, India is still dependent on agriculture, though service sector is also increasing in India. So one thing we can conclude by this, that the economies of Brazil and India going together, increasing in the service sector and at the same time based on agriculture. Like the Indian economy, the Brazilian economy is also a mixed economy. We are not capitalist or socialist economy. We are a mixed economy, and at the same time Brazilian economy is also a mixed economy. Both the Indian and the Brazilian economies are developing economies, not developed. Developing economies, its progress is going, or the economy of India and Brazil is running towards the developed country, but not yet developed. It is in the developing economies. The per capita incomes are very less as compared to the developed countries like the USA. It is interesting to note that though India has a higher national income as compared to Brazil, the per capita income of India is lower than Brazil. Again, I am repeating the sentence. It is interesting to note that India has a higher national income. अगर हम ब्राज़ील के साथ कंपेयर करेंगे तो इंडिया का हायर नेशनल इनकम है, बट पर कैपिटा इनकम जो है वो ब्राज़ील से कम है. इसका मतलब ये है कि हमारे देश में ऐसे बहुत सारे रिच फैमिलीज़ हैं, रिच लोग हैं जिनके पास बहुत सारा पैसा है, ना कि बाकी पॉपुलेशन के पास. इसीलिए हमारा जो पर कैपिटा इनकम है वो कम है एज कंपेयर टू ब्राज़ील, और हमारा नेशनल इनकम जो है वो हायर देन ब्राजील है. Now in our textbook, one more table is given in which you people have to make a polyline graph with the help of computer. Per capita income from 1960 to 2016, again it is in US dollar. But before that, just revise the concept of the per capita income, which is a measure of the amount of money earned per person in a nation or in particular geographic region. किसी एक देश के हर एक इंसान के पास जितना पैसा है या फिर वो जो अर्न करता है उसे पर कैपिटा इनकम कहा जाता है. नाउ कंसिडर दिस. ब्राजील in 1960 $240 US million, and in India it is 90. And just think about the number of USA, it is 3,250 rupees in 1980. In Brazil it's 2010 rupees. In India it is still 280 rupees. Just see the number of USA and compare these, compare this number also in 2016 and make a polyline graph with the help of computer. So the United States is a developed country. The population of this country is well educated. This country has the strength of many patents, modern technology and mechanical strength. This country is far ahead, not only ahead, सिर्फ आगे नहीं है यूएसए ब्राज़ील और इंडिया से, इट्स फार अहेड, बहुत आगे है. एंड यू कैन कंसिडर दिस और यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दिस बाय स्टडिंग दिस नंबर. अगर हम 2016 की बात करेंगे तो ये जो पर कैपिटा इनकम नंबर है उसे अगर आप अच्छे से ऑब्जर्व करेंगे तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि कितना आगे है यूएसए एज कंपेयर टू ब्राज़ील एंड इंडिया. So this country, USA, is far ahead of Brazil and India in terms of national per capita income. India and Brazil are developing countries. The national per capita income of the countries is low. India's per capita income seems to be even lower as India's size is very large. So one thing which is very important to understand here, India and Brazil are developing countries, not developed. These countries are progressing in the field of technology advancement, education and also in the field of industry. The national per capita income of the countries is low. India's per capita income seems to be even lower as India's size is very large. So the population is again the thing which play very important role in the economy of any country or of any geographical region. The next thing, this map figure 8.3 is given in our textbook, which is the major primary occupations in Brazil are shown here in this map. So what you people have to do, discuss this map or the following points and write your observation in the notebook. Now what we can see in this map, agriculture products, then the mining and animal husbandry and fisheries and also ocean currents. Here map with the questions, in which part of Brazil is coffee mainly produced. Now here first of all you people go for the index and then find out the symbol of coffee so that you can answer this question, in which part of Brazil is coffee mainly produced. Then the next one is which food crops are mainly grown in Brazil. Which food crops? So if you go for the food crops, rice, sugarcane, and soybean. Then can you relate the production of these crops with the climate there? Where are the rubber plantations? Rubber plantations concentrated. And then by using this information, by studying or observing this map, you have to complete this table. Type of crops, write down the food crops, cash crops like sugarcane, fruits and vegetables, and the areas of productions. Now, if we people talk about the agriculture in Brazil, agriculture is the main occupation, like in India, of the people living in the highlands and in coastal areas. Favorable climate and topography. Favorable climate for the agriculture and topography make it possible for growing a variety of crops. Now, what variety? Rice and maize are the main cereal crops. Production of maize is largely concentrated in the central part of Brazil. Commercial crops like coffee, cocoa, rubber, soybean, and sugarcane are cultivated on a large scale. If we talk about India, or especially in Maharashtra or in some parts of Maharashtra, then sugarcane is the crop which is taken as the cash crop. Brazil is the largest exporter of coffee and soybean in the world. Major states growing coffee are Minas Gerais and Sao Paulo. Beside these crops, production of fruits like bananas, pineapples, oranges, and other citrus fruits is also done. Cattle, sheep, and goats are also reared in the savanna grasslands in the south. Consequently, meat and dairy products are produced on large scale. सो कंपैरेटिवली अगर हम ब्राज़ील के एग्रीकल्चर की भी बात करेंगे तो कंपैरेटिवली ये नियर अबाउट इंडिया के जैसी ही एग्रीकल्चर वहाँ पर है. क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस जो है फेवरेबल है और अलग अलग क्रॉप्स जो लिए जाते हैं लाइक सोयाबीन एंड शुगर केन, वही क्रॉप्स हमारे यहाँ भी लिए जाते हैं, कैश क्रॉप्स जिन्हें हम कहते हैं. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग, mining. But before that, this one, agriculture in Brazil. 41% of the total land is occupied by agriculture in Brazil. 0.7 or 0.7% of the area is used for crop production in Brazil out of 41. 19% of total agriculture covered with soybean production. And if we talk about the popular fruit production, then it includes sweet potatoes, maize, peanuts, tobacco, and many more. Now the next point, mining, by using the same figure 8.3. Answer the questions. Prepare a table of mining products and regions of production in Brazil. Again, go for the index and you can find there manganese, bauxite, iron ore, and coal. Prepare a table of mining products and regions of production in Brazil, just like the previous one which was given for the crops. In which part of Brazil has mining activity not developed? What could be the reason behind that? Considering the availability of resources, where has the development of industries occurred? Now you people again do the same thing, observe the map and try to answer these questions. If we are now going to talk in detail about the mining of the Brazil, the eastern part of Brazil, which is rich in various types of minerals. Here the title is not fishing, it's mining. Iron ore, manganese, nickel, copper, bauxite, tungsten, and diamond, etc. are there. inaccessibility, lack of knowledge of potential resources, dense forest area. These are the factors which have led to limitations in mining in the interior parts of the country, though the Brazil is the giants in the field of mining. Nevertheless, because of increasing demand in the country, mining work has developed well in the highland region. By using this, answer the questions. Can you give two regions of concentration of fishing near the southeastern coast of Brazil, and inland fishing is not developed in Brazil, though there is large number of rivers in Brazil. So can you think of a region? Think the reason behind this. We just talk in detail about the fishing in the Brazil. Brazil has a sea coast of around 7,400 kilometer and excellent fishing grounds of the South Atlantic coast. Here you can see the sea coast of Brazil. The meeting of the warm Brazil current and the Falkland current of the coast of southeast Brazil makes it good fishing ground. Traditionally, fishing has been carried on by small groups of individual fishermen using primitive techniques and equipment. But now large vessels are being used, and swordfish, shrimp, lobsters, then the sardines are mainly caught. The fish resources of the Amazon River are not exploited much, and fishing only takes place at a small scale. Here on the screen now, you people can see the swordfish, shrimp, lobsters, and sardines, which are mainly caught. But the very important thing, the fish resources of the Amazon River are not exploited much, and fishing only take place at a small scale here in the Brazil. Now, in the next part of this topic, we'll discuss about the agriculture in India, mining in India, and also the industries in India and Brazil. So in today's topic, we people learned about the agriculture, mining and fishing in Brazil, and at the same time we discuss about the economy of Brazil.
Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear students, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.